Hey everyone, it's Cheryl from the Tinker's Cart Art here, and I'm going to paint this adorable little truck with the Christmas tree in the back. It's like our Christmas trees. It lights up. It comes with the light kit, but it's really cute. I don't think people are tired yet of the truck in the tree thing. So I'm going to start painting. You can watch along, and I would love to give you some information and instruct you with this cool piece. So here we go. I'm going to start. You might have watched me with my Christmas tree demo. I'm going to do the tree very similar, the truck very similar. And actually, believe it or not, I'm going to just take one of these pretty cheap 2-inch black chip brushes, which you can get at Lowe's or Michael's or actually the dollar store too. I'm painting the whole tree, truck, and everything just in black to start, so that couldn't be easier. We're going to use this nice bristly brush to kind of get into the grooves here. Just give it a quick coat. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can have some little gaps. You can touch them up later, or you're going to have color going on top of this. So just kind of paint away your whole truck black. I know it seems crazy, but it's kind of a fun technique. And if you have a piece that has a lot of detail and whatnot on it, you can see how this technique will work really well with this dark undercoating. I wonder if you've seen my Christmas tree video yet. I know it's a long one, but it shows you a lot of different colors and a lot of different ways to paint the ceramic Christmas trees. People have loved them. I've been running around everywhere delivering trees, so that's been kind of fun. You can watch the video and see the instructions. I also have some written out instructions in a supply list that I've emailed out. If any of that interests you and you missed it, just send me a direct message and I will send out that info again for you. If you'd like, direct message me your email address if you're not on my list, and I will add you to that. We're going to start up a few classes. It's been virtual lately, but I'm getting a little antsy, and I've got some groups and I've got a couple of locations, so watch for some new classes being scheduled in person. There'll be small groups. We'll have masks, we'll proceed safely, but it'll be really nice to see everybody again, so. And if you're tuning in now and seeing me painting this black tree, you'll probably think I'm nuts, but we're base coating the whole tree and truck black. It's all acrylic paints. These do not have to be fired again. These ceramics have been fired once. We paint them with acrylic paint, and then we will give them a nice glossy spray afterwards. So there's no need to glaze or fire again, which I think is kind of cool. I know I mentioned it last time, but I grew up in my mother's ceramic studio. And so we really did a lot of glazing. Actually, we poured the molds back then. We cleaned the greenware. We fired it. It's all different these days. No one's really doing that here anymore. These pieces are imported. But it's nice to be able to take them, have a little get-together with your friends, have a little paint night or a girls' night or family night crafting, and everybody can go home with a finished piece because we're just going to spray it, like I said. So I spoke about the Christmas trees. If you saw it, you kind of see how I'm going to paint this tree. I know typically everybody loves these trees in the red, but I am going to, I think I want to do this a teal blue. So you can do it really any color you want, but you could do a white tree and a red truck. You could do green truck and different color trees. I'm going to do the green tree with the teal. I think you'll like it, but again, you can do it any color you want. So I'm going to be selling these trees again, just like the Christmas trees, not the trees, the trucks. And the truck with the light kit and all your little lights. It comes with the little star and the plastic lights. These are $48. I will deliver it to you. I will give you you can, watch this video, or I will send you a link to it with the supply list. If you have trouble getting supplies, I'd be happy to put a kit together for you too. The supplies you need are really just acrylic paint, and they are the acrylic paints that you can buy in the little tubes, the little 2-ounce bottles. I'm not really sticking with a particular brand. It seems they're a little harder to come by right now, so I have been picking up those little bottles wherever I can find them. You can get them at Michael's. I found a good selection at Walmart. Those apple barrel paints are, I think they're 50 cents or something. They work fine for this project. if you have anything of any sort, acrylic paint, tubes or whatnot, you can certainly use those. You don't need many colors. I will put a supply list out there for you. And use what you have. You can mix colors. I can help you with that. I'll show you some colors you can mix to change them a little bit. But I just think it's so fun to have a little Christmas project. I know it's fall, but Christmas is coming fast. I cannot believe we're almost to Halloween. And wouldn't it be nice to get together with your friends or family? These are so easy. You guys could just get together and go at it and paint. I had a picture I showed on Facebook the other day of a woman who did one of the Christmas trees, but she's taking it to Florida, so it's in a teal paint. It's so cool. She bought a little starfish at Michael's and put it as the star, and did the base sand and put it on a nice gold charger with little shells around it. It was so cute. So you can see I have got this pretty well covered. Again, if you have little white areas and bits, don't worry about it. Just kind of leave that go. And so I'm going to put this aside now. I'm going to let parts of it dry a little bit. So I will show you the color I'm going to use. I really don't have lots of supplies. You can do this pretty easily with probably what you have. I put my paints on a paper plate. I use a paper cup for my water. I use the little acrylics, like I say, which are very inexpensive. The Deco Art, which these are a little more than the 50-cent ones at Walmart, but I do love the coverage of these too, and they have some nice colors. But whatever brand you have, you can use. The chip brushes I use quite a bit, and like I said, you can get packages of them at the dollar store. I have a few other brushes that I use. I'll show you as I go along. I like for this technique to use something more of a white bristle brush than a softer, I use the softer brushes, the sables and the imitation sables for the detailing. But you really, for the main part of it and doing all these big areas, you really can just go with a nice bristly brush. I like the technique that when you're doing a dry brushing technique like the trees or what you'll see me doing on this, it will work too. The truck part is pretty dry, so I'm going to go and, like I said, I'm going to give you guys a color list later, so don't worry about what colors I'm using. I will kind of tell you as I go along, but I can certainly give you some better, a better list to look at later. I really like the teal color. I think this might be a little dark. I'm just going to pull a little white into it. I like to sometimes have the white near my paint so I could go from lights to darks pretty easily. And it's a little bit of a dry brush technique like we did on the trees, so you don't want to take a big brush load of paint and just slap it on there. You're going to lose all of your black underneath. I rather go on with more of a dry brush, so when I get the color I like, I dry a little bit off on my paper towel. And now we are really going to just slap this on like this. Don't spend a lot of time. Don't think about it a lot. Just slap it on. I like the way the black shows through. The trick is to go light the first coat. You can darken this up as much as you want, but it's hard to get the black back if you lose it. So I go light first. That way you can add as many coats as you like, and you can even go as heavy as you like. If you wanted it fully covered with the teal, go for it, but start with light coats because you're going to get this little vintagey, antique-y look with the black. See how it's showing up a little more in the crevices? That's the dry brush technique I like. I start with the dark color behind, and I don't have to really work on those tires, but I'll go back and touch those up. But you're not really worrying right now. You are just going on the body of the truck, you know, with a paint would be. I'm not going too careful around here. We can touch that up later. So just slap it on, have fun with it. We are going to put some silver in the grill area after, so we're not going to worry about hitting that with the blue. And just go around the tires the best you can. I'm taking a little paint, I'm adding a little white to my teal. Every now and then I'm just drying my brush off so I don't have too liquid of a paint there, if that's a word that works. I've added a little bit too much white, I think, there. It's coming out pretty light, so I can just go back with a little heavier in the blue. There's no right or wrong way. I am not the boss of you. You do whatever you wish. I'll show you the technique, but feel free to do the colors you like, however you want to do it. If you look at it and you like it, there's no right or wrong way. You just go with it. So, what do you think of the teal? I kind of like it. I'm gonna get it a little more teal colored as I go. I'm gonna get into this little crevice here by the tree. I'm not spending a lot of time. I'm not taking a little tiny brush and outlining it and filling it in. I'm just slapping it on and having fun with it. It's hard when I'm at a paint night and people are always comparing themselves to their neighbor or to my piece or this and that. There's no right or wrong way. You just have fun with it. The idea is just to enjoy it and have fun. If it's going to be stressful, you might as well be at work, right? So, front, back. I'm not worrying about hitting anything on the edges. My tree's a little wet still, but that's okay. I'm going to just let that dry while I'm doing this. And I'm going to do this pretty quickly. You could take as much time and go into as much detail as you want. But we're going to paint it up. We're going to put a little wreath on the door. We can add your initials. It's pretty cute. So I've got a kind of a base coat there. I kind of like the way it looks, kind of antique-y. I do want it a little more teal though. I'm going to take my brush again, straight teal. Again, not too much. I'm still wiping some off. And I'm not going to cover the whole thing, but I'm going to hit it here and there just to get it a little bit more of that bluey green, which this is one of my favorite colors. I love this on everything. It is a little beachy, but I think it's cool for something Christmassy that's not red and green, you know, the whole always. And let's see. I kind of like the way that looks. And also on the tailgate, you could write a name, which would be kind of cool, or Merry Christmas, or some fun little saying you have. So anyway, the trees are available. If you are interested, you can just send me a private message. I will get you the information. I will ship your tree or drop it off if you're nearby. I am around for any kind of questions you might have. As you're painting, I'm around. Call me. I will help you out if you get stuck, but it's such an easy project. I think you'd be fine. Okay, so I think we fussed with the truck part enough. I think it looks great. Remember, it's acrylic paint. You can paint something completely over if you don't like it. There's no mistakes. You don't like it, paint over it. It's not a big deal. I like the truck the way it is. I am going to go and do the tree now, and then we're going to put the little details on the truck. So let me grab a clean brush. I'm just going to stick these in water for now, but be sure to clean your brushes out well. You don't want to leave the paint drying in there. You will lose your brush. It will get all stuck in the ferrule here, and you'll lose all the little hairs. So if I can't wash them right away, I stick them in the water and then give them a good washing with some soap, some dish soap maybe, water, whatever works. Okay, I am going to do the tree very much like I did one of the big ceramic trees the other day on the video. I'm going to start with the black background, and I'm just going to use a couple of shades of green, letting it kind of dry in between. Again, I don't want to do it really carefully and hit every area. I want to keep the little crevices and the grooves black still. So I'm going to take I put a bunch of greens out. I'm not going to use them all, but I'm going to just take, it's kind of like it's a Kelly green. And I am just going to do the same thing as we did on the truck. See how quickly, every which way I'm going. I am not worried about, I think you're better off doing it quick, because if you concentrate too much and get it too perfect, it's going to look like, you know, just too perfect and like not handmade. And if you cover up all your grooves, you won't have all that nice detail. So if I have a little blue on the truck, that's okay. I'm just going to go right over it. If I have some little white spots that I missed when I was painting the black, no worries, just go right over it. And this is just the first green coat. I'm going to put a couple of lighter coats, and then actually we're going to put some white snow on it afterwards too, which is always fun, but I'm going to wait to do that last so that we can put some snow on the truck too. And maybe some glitter, because who doesn't love glitter? Not the loose glitter that you can never get rid of. It's like a paint glitter. So it's kind of like a glue with glitter in it. It kind of stays where you put it, and it's not all over the house for 99 years. And any questions at all when you're watching this, just shoot me a message or put something in the comments. I will go over the comments afterwards. I can't do it right now, but I will go in after. I'll keep an eye on the comments, and I will answer any questions you have. But also feel free to send me a message with anything or any concerns. I've got some other pieces that I'm dying to show you, and I will kind of give you an idea what they look like afterwards. And I will paint those up in a live video soon too. Really fun. There's some cool fun pieces. I'm pretty excited to be painting ceramics again. It brings back so many memories, and I don't really have any pieces, so here we go. This would make great gifts too. Personalized especially. You can put the names like I said. All right, so that is just a little bit of a light coat of the green. I'm going to let it dry a tiny bit. So in the meantime, I'm going to take a little bit, and again, I'm just going to grab a few other little brushes. Use whatever you have around. We want to just put a little something in the window to make it look like it's glass. I think I'm going to take just a little white on a flat brush. I don't want to paint it in perfectly because that would just take forever, and we don't need to. I'm going to kind of do this sort of thing. Can you see I'm just dry brushing a little white on there? Just a little white in the window, and I have some light blue out, so I think I'll do the white so it's a little bit of a base, and then I'm going to highlight it with some blue. I made a big blob on my windshield here. I could touch that up with black if I wanted to and wait till it dries, but I'm going to try just going over it with the white to save myself time, and it does not look bad. Again, I'm doing it pretty quick here on the video, so you don't have to be here for hours watching. You can, I may go back and touch up some things after, but for now, I just want to give you the idea. And that's just all for the windows. Is the front window and then the two sides. And there is this little thing here that, what would you call those? A little side piece on the window. You can go in with your teal and just touch that up if you want to. Or it could also be silver. We're going to use some silver later on too, but we could also do that. And you can always look a little closer and touch up anything you want. I like the way that looks, actually. I don't know if I want the blue or not. I'm going to try a tiny bit. If it's a weird blue against the teal, I can go over it with white. So just a tiny bit. And most of the times when I'm picking up paint, I'm not taking a big glob of paint and hitting the piece with it. I'm taking a little bit on my brush, and I always pull it to the side of the plate and take some off. I'd rather go super light and say, I don't really like it. I'm going to do it some other way than be committed by a big brush load of something. So I don't mind this. I'm going a little bit of that light blue. I'm not sure. I think you can see my plate with paint there. But again, I'm going to give you a price list, a color list. A little bit of blue in there. Once we get this all with the wreath painted and the snow and all this business, you're not going to be looking at every little bit. So that's good. I'm still waiting on the tree a little bit. So what I'm going to do, I am going to fix my tire because I did go a little too aggressively with the teal paint. So the black, I am just going to quickly go over that little bit of teal that I mistakenly put on my tire. Thank you guys for watching. Looks like lots of people here. Hey, Carol. I don't have my laptop with the video on it, so I haven't been able to really watch, but I do see some friends there. Hi. These little white spots you get when you paint the black underneath are deceiving. When it paints wet and it's shiny, you don't see them, and then when it's dry, there they go. But again, it's easy enough to fix. So we're going to keep our tires black, but we are going to take some silver, and I want to do the middle of the tires silver. I want to do this front bit silver too. So let's just get another one of these little brushes. I have gray paint here in silver. I'm going to pull the silver aside. Sometimes, and that works, sometimes the silver is really transparent, and sometimes I base coat it with a gray first, but this looks like it's going to work. So I'm just kind of hitting, again, lightly. So if I go lightly, you can still see a little bit of those black lines here that give you the look of that grill. This bumper is going to be silver, so I'm going to do the same thing. It is showing a little bit transparent here, so that's okay. We'll do it once, and then we'll just do another coat afterwards if we need to. So the bumper's silver, the grill on the front is silver. I think I'd take a little brush and do these guys silver. This is the little outline. It's open because when you put your light inside, your light is going to show through where this light should be, so it's cut out. But that's okay. We're just going to go around it with the silver. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Marianne and Jen. I feel like Mrs. Romper Room with Miss Jean. So you can kind of see that. I went a little heavy. The lines are a little obscured, but if that bothers me later, I will just kind of go in with the tiny brush. I will do the little handles on the side in silver. Put one a little heavier to get that to cover. Same thing here. And the middle of the tires, I like to do silver, so I'm going to do that. And again, silver is a tough one, especially with black, so I'm doing it once. I'm going to see how that looks. You can kind of see that. That looks pretty silvery, but I think I may go later and do another coat. I really want it to be sparkly, although we do have that glitter gluey stuff, so that might be fun too. Okay, so for those, are you thinking about what colors you might want to paint your trucks? It's endless, really. Whatever your favorite color is. Doesn't have to be the red. The red's cool. Everyone loves the red vintage truck, but I have to say, I like the teal, and some other colors might be kind of cool. Okay, that's that. Oh, we have a bumper in the back. I might use the same brush just to quickly do it. You can see the transparency there. I may also not have shaken that bottle of silver up as much as I should have, but again, you could either base coat it in a gray or white first, let it dry and go over. I'm just going to do a couple of coats of the silver. Okay, let that dry. Tail lights, I didn't even think about it, but I think they're probably going to be red, and I did not get red paint out, so let me grab some. I think the brake lights would be red, right? This is kind of pink, but it was within arm's reach, so let's not try to touch the wet spots. Again, these have little lights here, little holes rather. That's where your light's going to shine through. Those might end up being a little bigger. Let me just do that for now. I see a little bit of green here. I'll just pop that off. Okay, so let's go back to the tree. I am going to use that same brush. You can use a fresh one. If I'm doing a big tree, I'd rather use a fresh dry brush, but for now I'm just going to dry it off and just go into this lighter. This is really lime green. It's a little too much, but if I mix it, it's a perfect shade. So I'm just pulling the green I used before with a little of that. Again, drying the brush off because I do not want a big glob of paint. And I am just going to highlight with that light green. Can you see now? We have the black in the crevices. We've got that green on the tree, but this just is a bit lighter. And I kind of adjust it as I go. If I'm going along and I don't see it, doesn't show up on the green underneath, well, then I'll just go with more of that limey green. It seems to be bright, but it seems to be drying a little duller. I think it's mixing with maybe the green that's on there. I just love the looks of the different shades of green, though, with that dark underneath. You can just go right ahead and do what we did to begin with, and the same technique on the tree. It's kind of a dry brush technique. Always go dark to light. Pick a really dark, whatever you're painting or whatever color scheme you're using, just start something really dark. If you don't have a color dark enough, just take your color and mix it with black. If this green, I didn't have a dark green, say when I did my big Christmas trees, I just mixed some black with it. And then pick out like 2 or 3 shades of the same color that sort of coordinate, and just lightly dry brush one coat, let it dry, next coat. You could use that technique on all sorts of things. So what do you think? I like the bright that's showing. It doesn't look so bright up here. I'm going to go straight with that really lime green. I like it on the tips, just kind of now on the tips of the branches. We are going to put white, some white snow on there too. I did go pretty quick with that black, and so you can see here there's like a little bit of white. So I just touch up as I go. Okay, I'm going to leave the tree like that. I am going to let that dry a bit more, but I'm going to show you how we can paint a little wreath on your door. I can put a little initial on it. The wreaths are really fun. So all you want to do, I'm going to use a couple shades of green again. So I'm going to start with this really dark green. And it's pretty simple. Don't worry about, oh, I can't paint a straight line. Oh, I can't do this or that. It doesn't have to be a straight line. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle. So just take a little fine liner brush and onto your door. Just draw yourself a big circle. That's all you need to start. Nothing fancy. Big circle. And just add some leaves. it's kind of like little V shapes. I'm just a little paint on my brush, hold it down, press, pull. You get, I don't know if you can see it on here. Press, get a big, you know, and then pull it up. You get a little shape of a leaf. And just go around that circle. I am not worrying about each thing. I am not saying, oh, it doesn't look like it should. I'm just going along and doing it. Just like that. Why don't we do it on both sides as we go? Again, a big circle. It's not showing up a lot on the teal color, but when we get to the light green, it's going to really pop. And then it's just the V. Can you see that? Just the V. And start on the outside, work in. There's really no right or wrong. If you did it the other way, I'm sure no one would notice and say, oh, your wreath on your truck was done from out to in or in to out. That's all. Simple. And now I'm going to use the same brush. I'll just dry off that dark blue and go right into green. Not blue, green. I'm going to go into a little bit of a lighter green now. So I'll mix some of that. And the paint's wet, and I don't care. It's almost better, because when I go on here, it's going to kind of mix. And just, I am going to reload my brush every now and again, because I am picking up that wet green, and it's mixing, and that's fine. But then if it gets too dark green, I just want to add a little more. So how cool is that? I don't even think we need any other shades of green. I'm going to go with that. And it's just, like I said, in a V shape. Just follow yourself, follow your way right around. I'm going in and on top of the green line sometimes. Sometimes I'm not. It's just going to look like a little wreath. So that is that. Okay. What I would do now is, if you want to put a little initial in the middle, you don't have to write a whole name. It's pretty simple. I'm going to use white because it will show up best. And you can just take a little bit on, again, this little tiny liner brush is what I'm using. And you can do whatever letter you'd like. I'm also going to put a little red bow on that. I'm just letting those leaves dry a teeny bit first. And voila, got your letter. I would also like to put in maybe some little berries. You can just take your red paint, make sure there's no water on that brush, because then we'll get a blob. I'm just taking some red paint, kind of thick. You could do this with the back end of the brush if you thought you wanted to have perfect little circles. You could just dip it into the paint and daub on it. I'm going to use the brush end, but I'm just putting little round dots, which are going to be berries. I'm kind of working around where the paint's wet, so. And then I am going to put a little bow, but I want that to dry a little bit. So you've got your little berries. You can see, right? Yep. Is everybody excited about Christmas coming? It seems like it's awfully fast, but I do love Christmas, so I don't mind a bit that Michael's is putting out their Christmas stuff. So there, I'm going to try the bow now. It might work. If it mixes with the green, you can kind of get an idea what it's going to look like. You just need to put a little blob and a couple little, there. So I just did it as a little circle. I just kind of blobbed my brush on and then just made a couple of little bows. It did mix with the green a bit, but I can go back and touch that up, or I don't even mind. It looks just a little rustic anyway. All right, so there's our wreath. I think it would be fun if you wanted to be fancy, because who doesn't want to be fancy? You could write a name. You could write Merry Christmas. You could write, I think I'm going to write Hughes Tree Farm or something Tree Farm. Yeah, we'll do Hughes Tree Farm. Now I'm freehanding it. You could certainly go with a little piece of chalk, sketch it in first, and then the chalk will just erase after. What a great gift, though, if you personalize it for a friend. Talk about one of a kind. They would love it. Or if you want to just get your friends together and your family, you could all write your names on your bottom of the truck when you painted it, and have the kids could paint one. And wouldn't it be cool to have like a little display of all the different trucks with the kids that painted them and their ages on the bottom? That would be fun. I'm not trying to make lettering perfect. I kind of make some letters bigger and some little and vary it that way, almost on purpose, so that it's not going to be perfect. So why try to make it perfect? And I'd love to put some Christmas music on in the background maybe, but I know sometimes Facebook frowns upon that music being there if it's with the royalty issues and whatnot, and sometimes they will not post the video, so I didn't take a chance, but I'm imagining Christmas music in the background. So there, you could paint. Oh, there's so many cool things you could paint, whatever you'd want on there. There. Now, I think that's pretty much the way I want it. There's a couple of different ways to put snow on this, and one is this Deco-Art Snow Tex. It is a like a paste almost. I have used this. I've also used like a modeling paste, any kind of a thick, heavy medium. You can, I did on the trees, I did that, and I sprinkled just some loose glitter on. This one I'm going to try putting on with a palette knife, I think, because, where did my palette knife go? Well, you could try a palette knife if you can find yours, of course. I don't see mine now. I know some people put it right on with their fingers. They just kind of glob it on where you want, which works too. You could do it with a brush if you don't want to get all messy. But you can see maybe, let me hold it up and see. It's textured, I don't know if you can see, but it's almost like a sandy texture. It's kind of cool. So I'm just going to put it on. And I like to put it on the edge of my branches. And I am just globbing that on a little thick. And if you want it even thicker, you could go on a second go round with it. And it's kind of like finger painting, and that's always fun. I'm going to hit the little edges of all of my branches. Actually, I tried it with the palette knife the other day, and I'm actually liking it, putting it on this way better. I've got more control. It's going more where I want it to. Yeah, I think it makes it. I think we need I was going to say you can do it without it, but I really think the snow kind of makes it. It's pretty cool. There, what do you think? Snow, yes. Now, what about snow anywhere you want? It's snowing out. You could put snow drips anywhere. You could put on your lights. You can go crazy and put it wherever it might stick if the truck was parked, on the bumpers, a little bit up here. This is the fun part. You put that wherever you want. And I have another, well, I was going to show you my little spattering snow trick with the toothbrush, which is fun too. But I don't know if I'm going to want it on here. I'm not going to bother with that. If you've taken my classes and we do the Christmas paintings, we take the watered down white paint, spatter it with the toothbrush, and it's really cool for like snowmen and all your winter scenes. A little on the tire there. So I'm going to leave it up to you guys, wherever you want to put your snow. That is what I'm doing. And that, just want to show you that glitter in case you are a sparkly person. This is, I have different brands. I like this best, the Deco-Art Craft Twinkles. It is like a heavy glue, dries clear, but it's got a lot of glitter in it. So you can put that on any way you like. I would maybe let the snow dry and plop it on top of there. That would be kind of cool. Just to get an idea of what it looks like. You can see it. I'll put it on the middle of my wheels there. And that kind of camouflages that my silver didn't cover as well as I would have liked. Can you see that on there? I'm not sure if you can get an idea of what those glitters. Now, if you want to go crazy, you could do it all in glitter. If you'd like a shiny finish to your piece, I love this Modge Podge Super High Shine Gloss Spray. It's a spray, so you want to go outdoors and do it. You can let it dry and do a couple coats. I put it on the trees. It gives them that nice glazed-like shine. There is also matte and satin finish if you want. The paint gives you a nice satin finish. It could very well stay like that. It does not need a finish at all, really. But if you want it really shiny to look like it might be glazed, then you can absolutely do that too. Hey Lillian, I see you're watching. Let me know on your trees, because I think a tree paint night with the girls would be so much fun. I'm going to do it with the girls myself, and everyone's looking forward to it. So what do you think? This is the tree. It's all done. It's just drying. Let me hold it up so you can maybe see it. I think it's really fun. It's going to be even better with all your lights. So what you're going to do when you get your light kit is you're going to put all your little plastic lights in. I wonder if you guys want to wait a minute, I'll put some in and light it up. It'd be kind of cool. I won't do them all because that will be, I don't want to have you here all day. But here's just a little selection of your, I'm so funny when I put them in. I have to put a blue one, then I have to space it out, and I have to have different colors. The little light kit is a cinch. It's got a little connector, a little metal piece here. You just stick it in the bottom. And just, I kind of have to stretch those out. Stick it in the bottom. There you go. Let's light it up. Let's see. I think I have a plug somewhere here. And what's nice is it has the little switchy thing, so you don't have to plug it and unplug it. Let's see what it looks like. Hang on, let's see. It's going to be harder with lights on. Let's see. I don't know if that's going to help you see, but can you see we have the little lights showing through the headlights and the window, and then your little colored lights. That's kind of cool. Okay. So that's what it looks like. These are awfully fun. I'm going to have some of these in, I have some in stock now. I'm getting more. I'm not sure how long they'll be in stock, but if you'd like one, send me a message, $48 delivered or shipped to you. You can have access to this video anytime to watch. I will provide you with a color supply list with colors. And if you need help getting colors, I know sometimes, like I said, you go to Michael's and there's not all the colors in stock, but I have plenty of paint too. I could probably supply Michael's. So let me know. Send me a message. If you're interested in knowing when I'm going on live or doing some videos or virtual classes or in-person classes, just send me your email on Messenger and I'll add you to my list. We have quite a list going, and everyone seems to be excited to get back to doing some crafts. I just want to give you a little sneak peek. I have the little truck which you see, but look at how cute is this. If you like vintage cars and things, this is the Woody. We're going to paint that up with the wood siding and some cool colors, maybe a burgundy. I think this will be a fun project. It comes with the light kit as well. It comes with the little lights for your tree. I believe it's going to be the same price as the truck. Something I can't wait to paint is this saguaro cactus. Since I've traveled to Arizona, I am obsessed with the saguaro cactuses. They are so cool. So this guy is going to be all painted up with his little star in the top and all his lights. I think I like him better than the Christmas tree. He's so cool. I'm going to paint that one up pretty soon. I'll pop on live with those. So I am going to let you get on with your day. And thank you for watching, guys. And I'll see you next time. Bye.